Hey Game Changers, in this episode we are going to be arming you with a game that is going to conquer that kind of age-old struggle, jumping up at visitors.
Now we know how embarrassing this can be. It's embarrassing for you, you want your dog to behave well, and your visitors are there and actually you just want to tear your hair out.
Yeah, so with that guys, the good news,
There's
there is a game for that! And if you have not already checked out the other games in our YouTube channel, make sure to do so and make sure to hit subscribe. Let's do this. So all you are going to need to transform your dog's jumping up is some of their daily food allowance.
Someone's apparently excited.
Very excited.
About their daily food allowance. And the cool thing is, when you're using your dog's daily food allowance, you're going to use it anyway. So to all of those naysayers out there who say, you know what, actually, I don't want to give my dog extra treats, or I don't want to give my dog extra sort of tidbits. Actually,
you don't have to.
Just dog's dinner. You're just using your dog's dinner. So here's some of the dog's dinner I prepared earlier.
And what we're going to do is, you might want to start this with your dog on lead. You're going to need your dog to be on lead. We're going to work off lead because
we're fairly sure that this game is something that actually we think we can like push on stages to show you, because we know you're going to want to see all the stages. However,
all the way through.
We also know that using a lead can be really, really helpful at first to actually minimise the opportunity for your dog to go wrong and maximise success. And we know that you guys want to win. You want to have success.
So what you're going to do is you are going to recruit someone who your dog likes. You might want to make it easier for yourself and not have someone who your dog is obsessed with.
Maybe not their very favourite person, and someone that they do like.
They have to like them. That's the key. Your dog cannot be scared of them to play this game. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use this daily food allowance to teach little Classy right here where the value is. At the moment, if your dog is jumping up, then they think the value is there to be had from the person who they're jumping up at, and they enjoy and they have value in jumping up at that person. What we're going to teach them is instead there's value in disengaging, value in moving away, value in walking away. So the way that this is going to look is I'm going to be the stooge, Lauren's going to be the trainer.
Willing victim. Trainer.
And I can be distracting. And so what we're going to do is Lauren's going to throw one piece of food towards my feet, and Classy's going to go and eat that piece of food, and she's going to think, that was the easiest piece of food I've ever got. And she's going to turn and look at Lauren and say, why did that happen? At the moment that she turns to look at Lauren's going to say yes or nice or whatever it might be. She's probably going to change it every single time. And she's going to walk in the opposite direction, away from me. As she walks in the direction away from me, she's going to feed Classy to her mouth. So effectively we're saying, hey, this guy right here, he's got a tiny piece of value by his feet, but if we move away from him, there's loads and loads of value.
So I've picked out some of Classy's daily food. I'm going to pop that up on there just to make it a little bit easier for me. I'm going to release her from her bed, Class. I'm going to throw a piece near Tom. Nice, super,
good,
super,
and feed, brilliant, lovely stuff.
That was very nice.
Now, the key here, guys, is that your stooge needs to behave themselves to start with, right? Because at the moment, we're kind of teaching her the game, and then we can make it more and more real life. So that means I wasn't even really facing Classy. I was kind of, my shoulders were turned away. I was looking pretty disengaged from her, and that should make it easier for her to disengage from me. So we'll show you that one more time.
Get it. Nice, super, very clever, wow, very nice, super
brilliant.
Dog.
Now, the cool thing is that this teaches your dog a pattern. One piece of value towards the person, loads of pieces of value away. So what you get is a dog who increasingly wants to get away, dash away from people, keep 4 feet on the floor.
And in fact, sometimes you'll get to the point that your dog really won't even go towards that piece of food because they know there is a better deal over this way. Why go that way when the best deal can be had over here? Yes, I hear you agree, and it's not your turn just yet.
And so what we then do is we then up the ante with the stooge person that we've got. So now I'm going to look a little bit more engaged with Classy on the next repetition. I'm going to turn my shoulders towards her. I might even kind of bend down a little bit, like I'm going to interact with her.
Like one of those people that's like, oh, look at that doggy, and you might not go quite as extreme as that just yet. However, that's the person you're combating. That person that says, oh, I love dogs, and in that moment your dog wants to jump up all over them, and then actually that isn't such a pleasant experience for anyone. So we're going to do that again.
Let's do it again.
Get it. Wow, very nice.
Brilliant. And one more time.
Supergirl.
I'll be more focused
Very
this time.
Nice. Wow.
Brilliant. And you see how it's very
clever.
subtle. I'm not really going to
Very
interact
clever.
there. And if we do it now one more time and we can show you just the level that this can get to.
Get it. Oh, bad throwing on my part. I'm going to do that again. Wow, Supergirl. That was so
Super stuff.
clever.
And we get a dog that actively is
So
choosing
clever.
to bounce away, to keep 4 feet on the floor. Even though, you know, Classy and I have shared many a fun time, she loves interacting with me. She's
super.
learning that 4 feet stay on the floor.
Super.
And in fact, unless my owner tells me, I should just disengage from the other person and not interact with them. Now, where does this go? Well, once you've practiced it with one person, probably a willing family member, you're going to want to try a different one.
So you need to go searching for your next willing victim or victims, because it's important that your dog actually can play this. It is important, yes.
Very important.
It's important that your dog can play this in the context of life, and that is something we want to do. Equally, just like Tom said earlier, you must be very, very careful to only ever work with people that your dog is comfortable with. If your dog has any fear or worry or anxiety or is nervous, yes, agreed. If they're nervous about anything to do with that person, please don't use that person. That's the wrong context to train him.
Now, once you've got this nice history of your dog not jumping up at various people, you can start to do it in more real life contexts. When you've got visitors coming to the house, as you welcome your visitors in, you can be dropping pieces of food on the floor at their feet, your dog bouncing back to you, and you may be doing a bit of throwing
And I know
away.
some of you will be thinking, no, that would not happen when I have visitors around, because when I have visitors around, it's like chaos. You know what? Work this game, play this game, you're going to get real life results. It's going to work. We've seen it time and time, hundreds of times.
Absolutely. And equally, the second kind of approach that you can start to do to bring this into real life even more, and I used to do this a lot with Bet, because Bet just loves to be, literally she'd be like inside you if she could be. And so I'd walk down the street, Bet would be on lead, we'd be in like the town or wherever we might be, and I'd just be, as someone would pass, just as they kind of passed me there, I'd just throw a piece of food towards their feet. She'd go and eat the piece of food and I'd carry on walking and feed, to the point where she does not jump up or even look to engage with people.
She's exactly the type of dog that would jump up on everyone and head height and probably give you the odd black eye or whatever else, because she really does have that amount of like head bouncing energy.
Yeah, absolutely. So guys, that is how we work with dogs that jump up. There really is a game for that. The other kind of situation where you might want to work on jumping up is counter surfing. Your dog stealing from the kitchen counter, grabbing things from the kitchen counter. We've got to tell you, there's a video for that. And so check out the YouTube channel, because we prepared a specific video on the games that we play in relation to YouTube, in relation to counter surfing even, that you can watch on our YouTube channel.
Yes.
So guys, there's always a game for that. Transformation's just a couple of games away. Watch the video, play the game, see the real life results. Remember, game changers, whatever the dog owning struggle, there's a game for that.
If you haven't already, remember to subscribe to our channel.
And check out our new 25-day online dog training challenge. Watch the videos, play the games, transform your dog owning struggles.
As a loyal YouTube subscriber, you can get a 70% discount through the link in the description below.
And if you haven't already, subscribe to the #1 most transformational dog training podcast on iTunes and Spotify, the Sexier Than a Squirrel podcast.
And remember to follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more live teaching, video content and free training using the links in the description.